that out with some B-roll. No, I didn't bring the mics. Oh well.
In the car, it should be fine, right? You can hear us, right?
Probably.
You can hear us, right? It's something we've been learning lately. Something we've been focusing on lately. Quality practices after COVID and getting back to high quality.
Empowering leaders too. Teaching leaders. Getting back to the kids.
Yeah. Child first philosophy.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Isn't it funny when we first started driving around and got this car, we said how funny it would be if we started a podcast where it was riding in cars with Wendy and Dani or something.
Yeah. Because we're in it so much.
But it was mostly just our funny conversations that we had.
Oh man. Finding it gapping.
Stupid.
This has been a long way. There we go.
Just make it more interesting.
Yeah.
Then we can get more perspective of like in the car.
Which way does it turn?
Oh.
There we go.
Just really watch that. Oh. So I would say since COVID, there's been a change of perspective on what high quality is in early childhood education.
Yeah?
Yeah. I would. I think
too.
that we
Not with my mouth full.
got away. It's fine. It's real.
Alright.
I think we unintentionally got away from putting the children first.
Well, I think it was because the shift of well-being. That's the sense of like adults didn't know how to like take care of themselves,
Yeah.
and so it was almost, now I'm thinking about it too, it's almost this like reparenting of adults,
Yeah.
because we all went through this sense of trauma, and even though they weren't children, like it took us all back to our childhood selves in some ways, because we had to figure out life at home almost.
Yeah. A lot of, I mean, it was definitely a mental health crisis for adults and children. It was a collective trauma we all shared. But yeah, like I would say, I think it was unintentional that we shifted the focus a little bit off of the kids onto the staff, which maybe it needed at the time. But what we've been talking about is the importance of shifting back to child first, because really we're all here for the kids. And even though there's a employee shortage and a child care crisis is going on, and we're all desperate for staff, it's hard, right, to make sure that we're all actually putting the children's needs first above our employees, above our own personal needs.
I was thinking, like, I don't know, whenever you think back to like other preschool teachers or whatever, like it just seems like a whole different culture of preschool teachers. You you know, like as the younger ones are coming in and practicing different social emotional things or whatever else, like they are like focused on, I think a lot of them are starting to focus more on the kids and themselves.
Yeah.
Whereas like back in the day, it was you only focus on the kids. I think in some ways.
And like academic standards and like hitting certain metrics. Yeah, I was creating a training yesterday, and I was looking back for like observations of classrooms, and there was one that was like maybe mid 90s, and the teachers were like probably retired teachers or like I don't know, good grandma age women, and you could tell their role was just to facilitate learning objectives, right? And it's just, yeah, there's been such a shift at the same time, a shift in mental well-being, a shift, on play-based learning, which is great, but like there's a lot of still figuring it out, and we're figuring out a lot of things at the same time. And at the same time being ripped away of funding, and we're in this whole childcare crisis, so it's like
not being able to pay staff what they deserve.
So, I mean, think back when Westminster, our original location, even when I started, we still had those lingering teachers that were like the 90s teachers that wanted to do worksheets and wanted to check off standards. And
it's almost like, so the culture of preschool in some ways has shifted. Now I'm kind of getting out of the staffing too, but like I think, especially like Westminster, like our staff have shifted into more of the play-based, and they have in a lot of ways. And I think now it's almost like shifting the community's ideas, like in some of the areas that we've gone into, like the idea of play-based. Like, literally remember that senator that was just like, oh, but like when does the real learning start?
Yeah.
Like when does it really start for you guys? And well, not senator, something state.
State rep.
And it's like, yeah, we know this. Like, we are the experts in this field. And yet now we have to even more shift everybody else's mindsets and like convince them, it feels like, in some ways.
It feels like we've constantly been not treated as the experts and constantly having to convince people that like our field is real. Over the last, like you've said it so many times too, like over the last 5 years, the actual recognition that's taken place. Because you've been in it for like 18 years. Long, right? Like seeing the actual recognition over the last 5 years take place finally. The last 5 years has been amazing, and now it feels like we're just going backwards. I was so excited about the progress. I've been doing this since I was 18, and it's what, 18 years ago? Which is nuts. And when I started,
you just gave your age away.
I did. Just gave my age away.
It's fine.
When I started, it was still kind of that lingering 90s, but it was like also like it was, aw, you're a preschool teacher.
You're so cute.
That's so sweet of you. Like, aw, you guys just play with kids all day and make sure they know their ABCs and how to write their name and how to count to 20 and their colors, so they're ready for kindergarten. Oh, that's so sweet.
You're so the way to go. Anybody could do your job.
Exactly. Like, well, you're fine making minimum wage because you love it so much.
Even more so than the elementary teachers. We love you guys, elementary teachers. You guys are doing hard work too.
That's
like,
so sweet. You change diapers all day. That's
you just
so
lay on the ground.
It was just like precious job, or like retired teacher job, like or the church ladies that ran it in their basement. It still had that feel. And like in the last 5 years, I would say, with especially in Indiana, the doubling the CCDF rates, the increase of like all the grants we got and all the support we got, build capacity. It felt like, oh wow, we're finally realizing that the economy needs early childhood education and a safe place for children to go to recover from COVID.
And families to be able to feel like they can send their kids that are safe.
And now in Indiana, all of that's going to crap.
Just a little bit.
So I was really excited about the progress, and now I'm really I'm so sick of having to defend my job. I have my master's degree in early childhood education.
I'm almost there.
Been doing this for 18 so freaking sick of saying the same thing over and over again.
I feel like it happens so much to people, like, in all the education realm, too. Like, it sometimes feels like early childhood is the black sheep, because like what you were saying. Like, because it's not the typical academics in learning.
Because they don't understand it. We don't ask, like, other professions to explain their careers like we expect teachers to explain their careers, you know?
Yeah. You're also an adjunct professor, too. Like, can you, like, people being like, oh, that's so cute. Like, oh, no, shoot. That's awesome.
Oh, you're a professor now?
Like,
I actually trust that you might know what you're talking about.
Stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, even our teachers that don't have their degrees yet, which we have so many that are currently going to school, which is exciting that the state still hasn't cut that, at least.
Yeah.
Like, our staff still have opportunity to go to school and learn and get their education there. And even the ones too that have been part of our program for a long time that might not have their education fully, they still have experience and they still have knowledge. It just might not be the verbiage that, like, you know,
because they don't understand it. We don't expect other professions to constantly explain and prove their worth, you know. It's the same for elementary, it's the same for all teachers. Or be over standardized and, like, because that's, I think, the fear too, is like we want recognition for our field and we want funding for our field, and we don't need you to tell us how to do our jobs,
right?
Or come in and over standardize early childhood education.
Because the thing is, like, every child develops differently. This is gonna go some other route now in my mind. Like, every child, and I know you do this too, but like, every child develops so differently. And instead of trying to put them in some cookie cutter square of like, let's sit them here and do this, and this is exactly how they have to learn, the exact place that they have to learn, play-based learning, which should be for all ages. Lets them, like, meets them where they're at. It's developmentally appropriate practice. Why does developmentally appropriate practice seem to drop off after they leave us?
Well, but at the same time, the elementary schools got No Child Left Behind.
Yeah, it's true.
So, like, that's so contradictory.
Yeah.
Like, don't do what's developmentally appropriate and play. Do A, B, and C to get to D. But then we're wondering why kids are getting held back in school.
Because it's just an assembly line.
Yeah.
Like, and some don't get held back when they should.
Yeah.
Because it just pump them out, and all the standardized, all the standardized testing. I think it was like one of my last classes, it was a discussion post or an essay, I can't remember, but like just went into this sense. Actually, it might have been my assessment class, that makes sense. Like, so how, like, we are so, like, assessed to the butthole. Yeah. Like, and kids are even more so, because that's how they believe that's how they, like, feel like they can get records and, like, documentation and, like, show things, which is true. And there's so many other ways to assess. Like, we teach our teachers portfolios, pictures, videos,
learning journeys, documentation panels.
Yeah, like, there's so many other ways that are more developmentally appropriate for kiddos and older.
Well, and that's like if you look in Finland and, like, all of the countries that are doing it so much better than us, and having children way better positive psychology rates and way better well-being and going into school prepared, and they're not over assessing their kids. It doesn't matter. No. We've just been taught that to prove your worth, it's a proof. Yeah, it's an early child. It's an education thing. Yeah. Prove to me you're doing your job well. Yeah. Based on this cookie cutter thing that we want you to be able to basically control every child in your classroom to learn this. And if they don't, it's your fault. But it's like, what if they're learning, like how, 1 to 2 year olds, right? Like, or 1 to 3-ish, right? There's a huge developmental gap, or huge developmental, like, milestones that happen in that age group. And it's like, sometimes when they're learning something else, this other thing regresses a little bit. Like, they're still learning here, but, like, so. And I would say that lasts your lifetime. Yeah. Because your brain's constantly pruning and building these synapses. So, like, it's a lifelong thing. Right? Yeah.
And I'm not saying, like, I'm thinking too, like, liberal arts schools, like, or whatever. Like, it's not bad that we learn a variety of things. And as we understand where our passions and our strengths and our abilities and our talents come out and where we want to put those, that's where we should feel like we should be able to go.
Right. Like, I've completely pruned out all my math logic because I decided I didn't need it anymore.
I didn't, because I have to do bunny stuff.
I poured in more knowledge of, like, animals, you know? Like, I can tell you lots about cats now. I wouldn't have had the room if I would have kept all that math in there.
That's fair.
I learned lots of things of trees and, like, plants.
To be honest, I learned some history stuff, and I'm like, I don't remember some of that stuff.
I love history.
Bad things happened.
Yeah.
And let's not repeat those things. And also, leadership empowerment and being able to play in the classroom and singing songs and how music impacts kids. Like, that's all coming here. And what if we started with our kids, this generation, and did all of that good stuff that we have built our brains around, and it stopped the bad things from happening?
Well, I was thinking too, we're talking about standardized testing. I think the stupidest thing is if you do bad on your standardized test, so you say like, oh, the kids aren't learning how you're teaching, then you don't get as much funding. Tell me how that makes sense. The school's not doing well. Don't give them money to do any better.
Do better with no more money or less. Oh my goodness.
So silly.
It's just, I feel like it all comes down to a broken system sometimes. That seems really overwhelming. So, yeah, I'll pose the question to you. What are things that you do when it gets overwhelming?
Go into the classrooms and sit on the floor and read books to the kids. Play with them and remember that, like, Mother Teresa, I think back to that quote, like, basically she said, you can't fix the whole world, but you can, like, fix one small problem at a time, one small detail at a time. And she was talking about, like, when it seems overwhelming, like, grab the nearest hand.
Yeah.
Like, that makes sense to me because we have to keep going. We have to, like, see the positive. We have to keep fighting, obviously, and using our voices to empower, using our voices to create change and vote and write your legislators and all of those things. And we have to remember our joy and our why. And yeah, definitely, like, just seeing in action, seeing the play in action, seeing the learning,
and bringing yourself into that too. I think that's the thing that's my favorite thing too, is when you get in the classroom, and even as a teacher, even as other positions that I've been in, like, whenever you can just lose yourself, not lose yourself, but become your full self, like, empower your full self as a child, an inner child
of a child,
and being in the classroom, and, like, I get to step into their world, and their worlds are joy and curiosity and creativity and just connection. That's what they desire, and that's what we all desire at the end all be all. So, like, just finding a classroom that you can step into if you're not in the field every single day. So we run
5 schools, almost 7,
right? So we have capability of stepping into the classroom. Like, if you do it. Or if you're in the classroom today, like, this is gonna sound crazy. If you're a director, go away. But, forget about the learning for just a little bit. Just be, and the learning will come. Just be with your kids. Get silly. Make a joke. Dance weird.
Yeah.
Make a funny face.
Just be with them.
Yeah.
Be with them.
That's the best thing that you could do.
And if you are a director, go sit in a classroom and be with them. Because, when we were directors, that's like, Wendy was under me as a director, and I would feel like she'd be getting overwhelmed, and, like, I'm ordering you to go sit and read a book with kids because that's what you enjoy. Like, go do that. Go do the things that bring you joy, and remember your why, because we get so boggled down. That's where burnout comes in. That's when people leave the field because it feels hopeless. You feel helpless.
It's a choice. We choose. When I was a director, and I think you did too, like, when I was a director, I made a mini classroom in my office.
Yeah.
Because, not for, the kids that needed a break, but, like, sometimes I would just have kids with me. And sometimes ratios mean that I needed to have a couple staff kids hang out with me for a little bit. And that's totally fine, right? But I had a space for them because that was important to me.
Yeah.
To be able to know that, like, that's why I'm there every day. And we went in and we would go in every day with a smile. Because your kids need it and your staff need it.
Yep. You set the tone. You set the tone for your classroom. You set the tone for your school. Oh, did you see that sweet old lady?
Aww. Walking around. Or there's a lady in a PJs.
All right, we're getting into Wabash now. We have to go interview a director. Well, kind of lead. And
if you want support, if you're a director and anything that we talked about hits you, like, we're here for you. We're here for your teachers. We're here for your kids too. Like, we're here to support.
So any hot topics or questions or anything that come up, drop them below, comment on this, and we'll see what we can do. We might be able to pull some resources or talk about it. We're going to start doing this all the time. Because we're always in the car anyway, driving around to our school, so we thought, let's use this time.
We're in the car a lot.
All right. Okay. Until next time, friends.
Stay playful.